last night was the launch event for the BYD Dolphin, and it was at SeaWorld at the Gold Coast. A brilliant event, loads of food. It was like a Hollywood, it was like the Oscars, honestly. There was huge amounts of food, all sorts of food around this big hall. And there was music and all sorts of people doing like fire spinning, really, really good music, all sorts of drinks, and you could just go and get it all. It was all free, and there was hundreds of people, a big dolphin show. I had a great night, but I did eat a lot, and then I had 3 or 4 full-size churros, and then by the time I got home, I woke up at 3 or 4 a.m. and then vomited up some churros. Sounds like a joke? True. But I'm very glad I went. Basically the same price as the MG4, making it about $40,000 once you've paid the on-road costs, and then whatever the rebate is in your state. So the MG4 and the Dolphin, about 40 grand would leave your bank minus the rebate costs. So here in Queensland, the rebate is $6,000 at the minute, making it $34,000 out of the door. But there's no guarantee, this is important, that you'll get the rebate of $6,000 because the Queensland government does say that it will give out funding until it's exhausted. And that's about 7,000 to 8,000 vehicles in total because they've got $45 million put aside. So presumably it will last for quite a while when you consider how many cars they sold last year that would have got the rebate, and now they're doing it this year. So, you know, it's fair to say that it might not last the year or into next year. Maybe not. Could be wrong, but that's just a suspicion I have. So you should bear that in mind. It might not be there at the start of next year. The MG4 starts at $38,990 before on-road costs, and then that's before you get your rebate back from the state that you're in. And so you get the base model, which is a 51 kilowatt hour battery pack, 125 kilowatt motor, and that's 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 7.7. So it's quite nippy, and range approximately 350 kilometers roughly. And you get a really nice car inside. You get sat nav and a big 12.8 inch screen and quite, modern, up to date safety features. The Dolphin starts at $38,890. So $100 cheaper, as everyone's aware now. Apparently a coincidence, but because it was released 2 days after the price of the MG4, I suspect it wasn't a coincidence. But apparently that price was locked in for months, apparently. Size, they're basically the same size. I'll get to that in a second. I'll just run through the details of the size. It's basically a Toyota Corolla or a Hyundai i30. It's very comparable. So it's the Dolphin is 4.29 meters long. The MG is 4.29 meters long. The Dolphin 1.77 meters wide. The MG 1.84 wide, which is 7 centimeters wider, but nothing at all really. A couple of inches. The Dolphin is 1.57 meters high. The MG is 1.5 meters high. The Dolphin does feel a bit cramped if you're 6'2" like me, but definitely doable. I think you expect that when you buy a smaller sort of car like that. It's not a big Range Rover or something like that. So it's definitely comfortable. I would totally drive it out of state, but it is definitely a little bit cramped. The battery pack, 44.9 kilowatt hours of storage, power 70 kilowatts, and 0 to 100 kilometers per hour is 12.3 seconds. So that's the entry-level variant. That's what you will get. Range approximately 340 kilometers on this variant, which is the entry-level one. The high-performance variant you can get has a 60.48 kilowatt hour battery pack with a 150 kilowatt motor, offering an estimated range of 427 kilometers. That's a decent range. Features yet to be confirmed in Australia, but I know for a fact you can get the slow motor, the 70 kilowatt one, and the big battery pack. You should be able to get that. And also they did drop last night news that they are going to bring a sport version of the Dolphin to Australia. Thanks to anybody who's thought about joining on Patreon or YouTube memberships, or anybody that's even bought me a coffee on Buy Me a Coffee. Links to these are in the description below. And as I've mentioned earlier, this allows me to keep creating these videos, which involves investing a tremendous amount of time in thorough research. And my goal is to provide you with accurate information that you might not find readily available in the mainstream media. The easiest way to help if you're a bit skint though is to just press the like button. This shows YouTube that people like my videos. I suspect the BYD Dolphin will sell more of the MG4. This is a bit of a debate because of the current market share currently held by BYD here in Australia. The MG sold 1,100 roughly EVs last year, and BYD sold almost double. So where does that leave us? The MG4, very comparable, and it has a great reputation of being reliable, well built, and so does the BYD Dolphin. Both are relatively cheap, both are quite different in their appearance. So the difference, I think, is a little bit negligible on paper anyway. So I think it will be down to your personal preference on the look and feel of the car, because it's not a night and day difference, I don't think, other than the look and feel. So personally, I would go check both of them out, and if you push me and I had to recommend one, I'd probably recommend the BYD because of the slightly better build quality, ever so slightly, and I also don't really like the screen. If you have a look on the MG4 and you look around the screen, it's a bit terrible. And that's a big deal. It's the screen in the middle of the car, and it's slow and laggy, and it's not very nice. The BYD looks really fancy and very nice, and I think will age really well too. So, also I think the BYD is just a little bit more luxurious, just a little bit. So, the MG4 is definitely a beautiful car, so I'm definitely not knocking that. Both really very, very nice cars. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like button for me so that YouTube knows you are enjoying the video, and subscribe for more daily videos about electric vehicles.